Architects, this is Arkchive, and this video is about how to set up your AFK squad suitable for all of the AFK squads in Perth. First, I would like to shout out to the sponsors of this video. Why make this video now? So in case in the future, if you are too busy to watch guides but still play the game, or you want to AFK by yourself, you have the basic idea in your mind. This AFK squad guide is suitable for every possible AFK strategy in Arknight universe, including the EN server or CN server. Despite the guide that you're watching, this will definitely suit, because this is the basic concepts of all of the AFK guides. So what does AFK mean? AFK means nothing after following a certain steps for a stage. But in some situations, when achieving AFK is too demanding, for example, you need to fight 5 defenders instead of placing a turtle. And in this kind of condition, it is possible to use a relatively less step strategy, which is easy to follow. So today, I'm just going to share about my experience and thoughts after making 400 plus videos, which mainly focuses on AFK guides. Time to start. So now, Arknights can be divided into 3 main sections, being main story and side story, IS, and SSS. So why I never make SSS? Because for me, SSS is actually simple if you have a few important stuffs in your mind, which I will share in the future. So hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. For IS wise, I haven't figured out a very easy way yet. So only for this one, if you don't care about the story, just play until level 3. Okay. Before we start, we also have to mention that the module and the skill masteries in the videos of my operators is my own account. It's only the recommended operator levels. The stages can be finished with lower requirements, of course. We'll be starting the introduction today, following by their jobs. First, we start by Vanguard. Vanguard wise, we first have Bagpipe. For Bagpipe wise, AFK is skill 2. Skill 3 only in some very extreme situations. S2, first. Module wise, for me, I will just upgrade the module since I'm not sure when the next module will be released. Next, we have the flag barriers. For Sailage, although Sailage can provide this increased attack speed plus 10 when surrounding the 8 house of a banner and also decreases the enemy's attack. But from DP regeneration perspective wise, Sailage is still lacking. A pot 1 Sailage is still lacking from Myrtle for short-term DP production. Only when Sailage reaches max pot, Sailage is only superior over Myrtle. Texas wise, although it's also an operator usually used in AFK guides, the module 1 is very good, but you can also replace Texas with Cantabile and Ines, which is out later. But will Ines appear in my AFK guides? Answer is for Texas wise, if you were to upgrade a module, just go for level 1. Module level 3 is not worth it because it requires you to use skill 2, and skill 2 we don't use it in AFK because it is an active skill, which has not much significance to AFK gameplay. Now we talk about Siege and Saga. Siege and Saga are 2 Vanguards released a long time ago, and if I really have to choose one in between them, I would choose Saga. However, in the guides from now on, the appearance of them will be very little, and they can also be very easily replaced with operators like Cantabile or Ines. So why would I choose Saga instead of Siege? Because first, Saga has the ability to provide and act as a SP battery for the allies. Also, another thing to mention is that Saga skill 2 does not need enemy. Every time you use the skill 2 after 30 seconds, Saga can generate DP. But for Siege wise, although the SP is lower, however it requires an enemy for her to gain DP. So we are not going to be using these 2 operators very often in AFK guides. Now for guards. Guard wise, Blaze is one of the most common used AFK operators, especially she will get the module soon. Unlock the module. The module is very good for Blaze and increases Blaze by a tier by itself in the AFK section and also the whole Arknight universe. Blaze S2, and for Chongyue wise, his role is a little bit the same as Blaze skill, and for Chongyue it's going to be skill 3 M3. Disadvantages of Chongyue is that he only has a block 1, which makes him need to be placed together with a defender, usually Savior. If you're okay with not AFK, Savior Altar is also quite a good option with Mona, although his skill is not AFK. However, Mona's skill 3 is just too good, so occasionally, in some very extreme situations, we will also bring Mona too. Also, this combo called Are You Hungry? It's basically made of Gabriel Altar and Mona. So, the basic concept of this combo is that when Gabriel Altar skill is ready, Mona can take the time to charge the skill. And when Gabriel Altar skill ends, Mona's skill is ready. Mona's skill ends, Gabriel's skill is ready. This is the basic concept under Are You Hungry combo. Super Ash is not that commonly used nowadays, especially after the appearance of Mona, but he is still very good when providing this, when revealing the invisibility of the enemy. Skill 3 is used very little nowadays. The skill 2 is also used very little nowadays. Super Ash nowadays is only deployed for the sake of revealing invisibility for certain kind of enemy. So not recommended. Serta, again like Mona, although doesn't have an AFK skill, however the skill tree is just too good. Serta is still very good until now. For taunts wise, as the game gets harder and harder, taunts is less and less good, say, as a very OP operator. He is still very decent, especially when it comes to AFK guides, because of his ability to hit the air and also his high DPS against low defense enemies. Although when the enemy gets stronger and stronger, he will become weaker and weaker, however, he is still a very significant role for AFK guides for now. Mountain-wise, his skill 2 is still one of the best lane holders for not that high pressure lanes. Definitely recommended. And also Lapland is still replaceable, although Arknight is almost 4 years at this time, because of the ability of her to disable the special abilities of enemies. Up next, we are going to the defender section. For the defender section, basically we are going to be talking about only 3 defenders, being Hoshiguma, Mudrock, and Seira. For Hoshiguma, it's going to be skill 2 and 3, and for the module wise, I go for module Y. Why module Y? Because module Y provides a block 4, which cannot be provided by most of the operators. For defense wise, it can be provided by Shining, but that is not the case for block 4. And as a defender, your main defender in your squad, I think block 4 is the more important thing. Plus, this increase of the percentage to resist damage also makes Hoshiguma good in some very high pressure situations. And then we have Seira. Seira is also one of the best operators in the game, with all 3 skills being useful. For the skill wise, it's going to be S1 and S2, M3. For S3 wise, it's only for some very extreme situations, but it's not relevant to AFK guides. Mastery wise, I'll be going for X module. Different from Hoshiguma, which is the main defender of the squad, Seira is seen as more a healing defender, and by upgrading the X, she can provide a higher amount of heal for allied units with lesser than 50% HP, which definitely suits out with the first skill. Also requires a less than 50% HP to work. This module also provides an additional SP. For this, it was 1 extra SP. Now it's 2 extra SP. By doing this, and with Seira mostly deployed quite early in AFK guides, it can help operators like Blaze and Chongwei, which requires Seira to charge up the skills faster so that you can start to AFK faster. Last but not least, we have the Mudrock skill 2 and 3. For Mudrock wise, the shield is still irreplaceable for now, although the second talent is a bit suspicious. Moving next, we're gonna go to snipers. In Arknight nowadays, the requirement of snipers are not that high, mainly because for very strong operators, sniper themselves cannot finish the job in AFK gaming, and you also need Mona for that situation. So for weaker operators, you won't need that strong snipers. So for me personally, I will not be using Exercise in my AFK guides, mainly because when the level differs, the DPS differs a lot, and when the DPS differs a lot, the skill tree which cannot be activated manually will also differ a lot, which makes AFK guide not stable. So for the sake of AFK guides being stable, for now, I will not be using Exercise. However, you can still use Exercise. If you use Exercise, maybe you want to be thinking about unlocking the module, because Exercise is an operator which relies heavily on the stats, base stats. You can still use Exercise. Not to say that I hate Exercise, but for the sake of my stability of my guides, I will not be using. For now, I'm just using these 2 normal snipers. You can choose your favorite snipers that you like. Special operators mentioned is Chandler Hollanday. Although the talents are pretty useless, but she is way too strong, and sometimes we just only need to use the skill 1 time and we can start to AFK the whole stage. Now going to casters, for caster wise, it's going to be Golden Glow, Ifrit, and Aya. Thus, it's just my personal preference, so don't care about it. Golden Glow is going to be skill 2 M3, and the higher the level, the better Golden Glow is, because Golden Glow depends on the base stats too. And a good combo for Golden Glow would be Skadi Altar. So you might want to consider Skadi Altar to get the Golden Glow. Ifrit is going to be S2 M3. Defense shredding is very important as well as the burn damage, but for the module wise, I will be recommending you not to open now, mainly because how the module affects the smooth of skill 2. And then we have Eyafala, which we're gonna be mainly using skill 2, but skill 3 sometimes. Module wise, it's up to you if you want to upgrade, but for me, I'm not gonna upgrade it. I might be waiting for the second or third module. Moving up next, we got the medic section. for medic section right now. Section is going to have a great change after the launch of Air Altar, but for now we're still going to be discussing. So now the Queen of Medic, it's going to be Nightingale for sure. The module should not be upgraded, and if you want to really upgrade, maybe go for module 1 for the increased attack range. Nightingale is very broken, so highly recommended to mastery both of them. Shining wise, she is only used a lot in AFK guides because of the ability of her to provide shield and also increase stats of the mates in the era to make the AFK guide more stable. For me, the module I go for Wicked Scabbard, mainly because I think that the skill is more suitable to allies in AFK guides instead of the skill which is more focused on an AFK guide. We also have this Lumen, situational, however I would not recommend you to mastery as well as this module, maybe you can just leave it there. Also some honorable mentions, it's going to be Mulberry, Honeyberry, the only two good elemental medics we have now before the release of Air Altar. And when Air Altars get released, please go get one Air Altar because Air Altar skill 1 heals a lot, almost like a single target medic, and Air Altar skill 3 is also very good, although a bit too much in some situations. Moving on, we go to the supporter session. For the supporter section, it's going to be Study Altar. Study Altar is an MVP, still the best in the supporter when not compared to Ling. Ling and Study Altar is two different things if you really want to discuss about it, and we will leave this for some time later on. The Study Altar is going to be skill 2 M3 because this can provide an AoE heal and also an AoE attack buff to the allies around her. And also another one will be Suzuran. Suzuran is absolutely a beast. The skill 3 providing an AoE slow and also an fragile can be considered as a buff to all of the allies in the range without any prerequisites. Skill 2 is sometimes used in AFK guides because of this ability to slow and make fragile at the same time. Module wise, I won't be recommending you to open it, maybe just leave it there. For specialist wise, just use whatever specialist you have. Mainly for nowadays, it's gonna be Texas Altar, Kirin Yato. Kirin Yato is more focused on DPS, especially against low defense enemy, while Texas Altar provides more functionality. Example, skill 3 provides an AoE stun, skill 1 provides a silence, and skill 2 reducing the resistance of the enemy. The other operators such as Ethan and Lee are only used in very little situations, so you don't have to specifically pull for them. So basically, this is it for all of the recommendations of the AFK squad. I hope that after this video, it will help you to have a better understanding on how AFK guide works, as well as the basic logic of AFK. But before we end, we would also like to have this Q&A session. So, is AFK guides only for players with the squad? The answer is no. You can always adjust it yourself. Beginner-wise, it is also very useful to watch these battle records to have a better understanding of the different operators in the game. The next question is to pull for the operators needed to AFK if you want to play AFK. I will only recommend you to pull for the characters you like. If coincidentally the operator you like is an operator featured in AFK guides oftenly, then yes. If you hate it, then don't use it for whatever. In Arknight, eventually get all of the operators. Potentials don't really matter in this. Most important thing is to have a good mental attitude, positive, words of life, and Arknight. Basically, this is it from Arkchive. If you like the content of this channel and would like to support the channel more, don't be hesitant to press this button, get featured in one of my videos. Basically, that's it, and goodbye.